This video has a very simple goal in mind, and that is to ask the question, what is the worst internet catchphrase of all time? I have a list of about 15 or 16 catchphrases here that the internet has invented. Now the thing is, I could put so many more catchphrases here, but I would be on here way too long, and content is only a little bit of what I do. I'm gonna start from the bottom here with the tiers. Now, tier 1 is actually the opposite of an awful catchphrase. I think it is a step forward in the evolution of the human brain. Some of these phrases here I feel like have genuinely moved society forward, and if we didn't have them, we would be worse off. I gotta put a 9/11 joke in here somewhere and how these phrases could have prevented it, but a lot of these came after 9/11. Maybe they would have stopped the Forever War. Tier 2 is a joy to the world. It's not a game changer, but honestly, I really like hearing it. Not bad at all. Really fun. Big fan. Yes. Tier 3. It's a trifle. Nothing more. You know, these phrases, they're not bad, but they're not good. They existed. They ran their course, and then they just sort of... Tier 4 is when we start getting into the bad stuff. I do think that some phrases set humanity back a few years. And Tier 5, when I say worse than the atom bomb, probably shouldn't make that joke, but I mean, just some of these. So let's get into it. The first phrase, that's a heckin' doggo. In anything involving the words doggo, pupper, pupperino, that's going right into a detriment to humanity's growth. So you know how, like, they say you shouldn't use a baby speak when speaking to a baby because it doesn't actually help, it just hinders the baby's cognitive development? That's like humans using doggo speak with each other. When someone refers to a dog as a doggo, they get dumber and the person listening gets dumber, and I'm pretty sure the dog gets dumber too. And I've seen some pretty dumb dogs, but this phrase can bring them lower. So that's how I feel about that. Do a barrel roll. Honestly, do a barrel roll is also pretty bad, and I'm going to explain why. When you play Star Fox 64 and Peppy says do a barrel roll, it's funny. Like, the voice is weird. It's like got that whole like 90s voice acting thing. It just seems to come out of nowhere. But that's the whole joke. The whole joke is just Peppy poorly saying, do a barrel roll. I guess we all just thought it was funny and didn't really have any outside humor. I don't think anybody really understood what the joke we were in on was with do a barrel roll. It's a useless phrase, and it is a detriment to humanity's growth. But let's go a little easier on the 2000s phrases. I heard you like mudkips. A joy to the world. And here's why. Let me bring up another tab right now. It is also just an inside joke for the sake of being an inside joke. There's nothing really to be in on with it. But it's bolstered by the fact that Mudkip itself is just so cute. I love him. I love Mudkips. Like, of course I heard you like Mudkips. We all like Mudkips. Just look at him! I'd literally choose him over Blaziken. Do you know how good you have to be? I love him. Mudkip is a joy to the world. That's what it deserves. We have a more recent catchphrase. Have you heard of the hit game Among Us? Now, stay with me on this. I'm pretty sure that have you heard of the hit game Among Us is, quite frankly, the next step in human evolution. David Foster Wallace wishes he was this postmodern. We all loved Among Us, then the kids liked it too much. Now it's a shitpost. But now it's a shitpost of being a shitpost because it's so aware that it's a shitpost that if you say, have you heard of the hit game Among Us, you are living on at least 3 different levels of irony. And the fact that it centers around Among Us, I can't even describe it, but I am convinced that the phrase, have you heard of the hit game Among Us, will be the thing that ushers us into the cosmos. Next up on the Gen Z terms, we have a quirked up white boy with a little bit of swag, busted down sexual style. Is he goated with the sauce? Well, this one's also a pretty recent one. I'm gonna put it in the trifle tier right now. You know, it's a funny phrase. I don't really see it having much of a longevity, but it's got a lot of, like, funny words to it. Solid phrase overall. We'll have to see where it goes. I personally don't see much of a longevity to it, but maybe 5 years from now we'll still be talking about it. Who knows? Now I gotta insult Gen Z a little bit. You know, the whole submissive and breedable thing, Nah, this ain't it, Chief. It's kind of like a lot of bad catchphrases where the catchphrase is just the joke. Yeah, it's a weird sex thing, but humans are breedable. That's the whole thing. Like, breedable on its own works as a word, but you need submissive to... Submissive needs breedable to, really bolster it. I feel like a lot of Gen Z kids, when they hit their 20s, they're going to be like, man, that was a stupid phrase. Kind of like the way I think do a barrel roll is a stupid phrase. What more is there to say? All right, next up, we have quite possibly the greatest internet catchphrase of all time. As I am convinced that Leroy Jenkins is, frankly, an evolutionary touchstone in our human DNA. We're gonna watch Leroy Jenkins, guys. We're gonna go back 2006, and you guys get to see my anime horny RPG advertisement.
Anything off this guy, or can we bypass him?
I think Leroy needs something from this guy.
Okay, so, this is how you build tension. You know this is building to something, but you don't know what. It's a quality filmmaking technique. All right, I'll stop.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins! Oh my god, he just ran in. Save him!
Oh, geez, stick to the plane!
That is catharsis. That is catharsis, people. Leroy Jenkins, one of the greatest words uttered by any human being in the history of mankind. Okay, next up we have break the internet. Here's the thing about the phrase break the internet. Anyone who says they have to break the internet hasn't broken the internet. And Kim Kardashian, I am talking about you. You can't try that hard to break the internet. It's a funny phrase, but it's too corporate at this point. I wouldn't exactly call it a detriment to society, but it's just kind of dumb. It doesn't deserve my time. I had to do it to him. Honestly, I think that I had to do it to him is also a step forward in human evolution. I had to do it to him is the Mulholland Drive of internet catchphrases. It invites so much speculation and so much intrigue. There's so much mystery to it. And yet the closer you think you get to solving it, the more you just hit this vast nebulous space. What, pray tell, did he had to do to them? What did he do? Who was M? And are we talking about, did I know that he had to do it to him? Why is he wearing all pink? We are going to be wondering what we were supposed to know and what he had to do and to who for millennia, and we're never going to find out. That's cringe. Another Gen Z phrase. See, the thing about cringe, and ContraPoints points this out much better. You cringe because you see something in yourself in the thing you're cringing at. It's really just an exercised expression of self-hatred. So the fact that we're making this popular, I think, is actually not very healthy. Yeah, sure, some things are weird, but if you're cringing, it's because you think you actually might do it. I think the kids, on a whole, should stop saying it. Kill the part of yourself that cringes. Don't kill the cringe part of yourself. Unless you watch Glee. Next up, we have Damn Daniel. Damn Daniel, honestly, Damn Daniel's a fun thing to say. I don't need to get the joke to know what it is. You just say, damn, Daniel, and, it's just whenever you're impressed. What's a better way to say you're impressed with something? There's all negative phrases here. A lot of phrases that embrace surrealism and nihilism. But damn, Daniel is just an expression of happiness. It's an expression of joy. It's an expression of pride. And it deserves to exist. It deserves all the praise it gets. Doge speak. Not to be confused with doggo speak. We should all feel bad that we let Doge speak go on this long. Honestly, the only reason I'm not putting this in tier 5 is because the Doge meme itself has evolved time and time again in a lot of really fun and inventive ways. But when this first came out, it was the goddamn worst. It's just as bad as doggo speak. Right, babe?
I have no idea what you're saying. But I don't believe that doggo speak is trash.
It is trash.
We fundamentally disagree on that.
Well, I mean, we're allowed to like trash things, I guess.
Are you calling me trash?
I'm calling the thing you like trash. It's different.
Unbelievable. We need to have a serious conversation.
I have to stream, babe. Streaming's more important than maintaining relationship goals. Always remember that. Doge, actually, no. You know what? Yeah, I'm putting Doge in the worst in the atom bomb tier Because Dogecoin exists. This is why it goes in the atom bomb tier. What are we doing? And yes, I do have Dogecoin. I bought in at 8 cents. I literally have no reason to sell. I'll go to hell if this is what gets you to hell. You know what else is worse than the atom bomb? The cake is a lie. Oh man, do I think this phrase is absolutely worthless. Take the stuff like do a barrel roll. I heard you like mudkips. The thing where just like the phrase itself is supposed to be an inside joke. The cake is a lie is the worst version of that. What exactly is the lie in this case? And don't give me shit about Portal and Portal 2 because this phrase was around before Portal and Portal 2. Portal had to save this phrase from its awfulness. This was a bunch of people on 4chan didn't have good senses of humor. So they made up this phrase that they could all just joke about. And because they don't go anywhere else on the internet or in real life, they all thought this was fucking hilarious. And maybe the cake is a lie. Maybe the cake symbolizes freedom. Maybe it symbolizes freedom from oppression. Maybe it symbolizes true happiness. Maybe it symbolizes nirvana. Maybe it just symbolizes the many lies we tell ourselves to get on through the day, but it's just... Oh, we would not have as many 4chan edgelords as we did if it was not for this phrase. Because this is how they get you. You think, ooh, this is a funny phrase. I'm going to say it a lot. Because I get it and the outside world doesn't. And then suddenly you're in this little bubble. And then they start feeding you the edgelord shit. And then the hentai comes in. Now you're addicted to hentai. Now you know all about Eastern Europe and you want to move there and marry a Russian bride. All because of this phrase. The cake is a lie has ruined us morally, economically, sociopolitically. There will be no quarter for any of us in the afterlife. That's all I have to say about that. Anyway, next up, a phrase I really enjoy. My body is ready. Let's hit up the tube again.
My body is ready.
His body is ready. And he knew. See, he knew the joke. He was in on it as much as everyone else. And you know what? We all had a good time with it. We got a good laugh. And you hear it today, you're still just like, oh yeah, that's funny. My body is ready. I like it. It's a funny joke. It's a joy to the world, and it's one of the better internet catchphrases that we in our lifetime have seen. All your base are belong to us. I would put it in the just a trifle tier, but honestly, it's kind of funny. Yeah, what's this apart from stuff like do a barrel roll or the cake is a lie? Like, there's just an inherent, like, weirdness to the phrase and the history to it. Like, a lot like my body is ready, it came out of purity. There was no snarky irony at it, and the nerds might have overused it. But, like, you think about it and it's funny, right? All your base are belong to us. See, I think I even heard my girlfriend laugh, and she's furious at me right now. Next up is also a very new phrase, one very related to streaming. Strim. Fuck this phrase. Like, it's just the word stream. You're not even shortening anything by saying it. It's just, oh, I'm going to do a strim. Like, why? It's like the internet was just collectively bored and decided to make an inside joke, but the inside joke wasn't funny, but because they can't think of anything actually funny, they just stuck with this. It's stupid. It's a stupid phrase. I don't like it. Stop saying it. The end. All right, next up, we have get some bitches. Now, the kids probably think they invented this phrase, but this has been a phrase going around for a long, long time. Honestly, I don't really see it as anything good or bad. Yeah, it's sexist to tell someone they need to get some bitches, but I'm sorry, if you're MAGA posting in Among Us, you kinda need to get some women or some men or whatever you're into. The bitches can be any gender. That being said, though, I think it can be really overused. Like, we're definitely at a market saturation point right now with this phrase. I think it'll stop being cool very soon. Do not predict good things for it. I suppose its longevity earns it a place in the pantheon, but at the moment, eh. Alright, and then finally, we live in a society. Honestly, this is just a trifle too, because nobody really says this sincerely. It's always made to make fun of the people that we think say this. And you know, the Joker is very related to this phrase, but it's still just... we live in a society. We live in one. This is how I make content. That says something about society, I think. Maybe. That is my list of the worst internet catchphrases of all time. Some of these have been a genuine pleasure, and some of these have been the worst thing ever on the face of the planet. And if you disagree with me, you're allowed. But my brain is bigger than yours.